afternoon. Thank you for being here. Marcus, Ellie, you're here. Oh my gosh, Ellie, I haven't seen you in a long time. Thank you so much for being here. Friends, if you happen to be here for the very first time, my name is Anna Zagari, and I'm just a basic girl with a little extra. And my purpose for this live streaming gig is to bring you a little bit of encouragement, a little bit of inspiration, or a little bit of a laugh because sometimes I just do things that are not very serious. And today I have a super special guest. If you remember, or you were here, or you watched the replay from last week, I had Stephanie Jordan here. Which is my therapist. If you didn't watch that, you want to go watch it. Because this month I am dedicating it to mental health awareness. And the guest that I have here today, she is going to supplement the talk that Stephanie gave us last week. So we talk about therapy. How can we choose a therapy? Who needs therapy? Raise your hand. Let me know in the chat. Did that chat help you? Did that conversation help you? And to see what is the need and what are the benefits of that. And so today, like I said, I don't. I now know that we can't have a healthy mind if we don't have a healthy body, and that is just a fact. And the person that I have here today, she is an expert. I part of her wellness Facebook group. I've learned a lot. I've made some changes in my life because of her, and she's a friend of all of our friends here in the chat. Roy, you're here too. I don't see you, but oh yeah, there you are. There you are. Hi, Roy. Thank you so much. Great stream on Tuesday night too. Um, and so, without any further ado, I'm just gonna let Cheryl introduce herself, which some of you already know, but tell us a little bit about her. And here is my fabulous guest, Cheryl. Hey, I got something for you. Hold on, hold on. I need to manage these buttons a little faster. Here we go. Yay!
Yay!
Confetti. Yes, I don't have the fancy music that Marcus does on his live stream, and I know you're an awesome dancer because I've seen you dance and you're rocking. But thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much. So, would you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I am Cheryl Wolf, and I have Cheryl Wolf's Wellness. That is my business. I was a longtime hairdresser turned wellness coach. So many moons ago, I stood behind a chair for 10 or 12 hours a day and told people how, I'd ask people, how are you doing? Are you taking care of yourself? But I wasn't. And then, unfortunately, I was diagnosed with a serious illness, and that changed a lot of things for me. So I started to look at my whole wellness, and I didn't want another diet, but I needed to let go of some weight. And through a process going back to school and becoming a certified holistic health and wellness coach, I let go of 45 pounds, but not just in my body. I let go of weight in my mind and my spirit as well. And now today, I get to help other women after the age of 40 to let go of weight that they're holding on in their body, mind, and spirit as well.
And your help is big, a big need in our country and our society and for women. And before we went live, you and I were talking about how busy we get, and as women and as mothers, we take care of everybody, and
Mm.
then we kind of like, oh, wait a minute, I haven't eaten today? What am I doing and all that good stuff. But I am it's so thrilled to hear that so it was an illness that trigger or that when
Yeah,
involved like I need to do something about it. Can you tell us a little bit more about
sure.
that? You know.
Sure. So I was really scared. I was pretty scared. I was very frightened. And there really wasn't, at the time, I was told there was no treatment available for me. And so the doctor said, go home, take care of yourself, eat well, and take care of yourself. And I thought, okay, what does that mean? And
Right.
I worked out occasionally. I ate, I thought, okay. Um, but it was so much more than that. It really did spark the now you got to get serious. What can you do? And it really becomes started with the way I was thinking. Um, because the way I was thinking was I'm going to fail. I've done this, I was like Mark Twain. I've done this 100 times.
Hmm.
I'm an expert, but I
Yeah.
kept failing at it. And when I stopped focusing on what I was eating and I gave myself permission to eat whatever it was, it started getting better. And that was
Mm.
kind of the beginning of it for me because I thought it was all about a perfect diet and a perfect exercise routine and a perfect. And there is no such thing, but there
Yeah.
is for you. And so, what was good for me, my friend couldn't eat. It wasn't good for her. It made her feel, and so it was the becoming aware of what I was bringing in, not only in my food, but in my thoughts. I was,
Mm.
talk to myself terribly.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. So it's funny. My husband makes a joke like, he goes like, Anna, like diet has the word die in it. Like that's why we shouldn't diet because we're gonna die. I'm dying for starvation, and he hates it. We did a program together, and it was like literally not eating, like
Yeah.
only once a
Yeah.
day and all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. And we lost the weight. But guess what?
Yeah. You put it back on.
We went on vacation and we're like, oh, let's just cheat a little, and that was the end of
Well,
that.
those are the words that we use. We have a cheat day,
Hmm.
and this is going to be really hard. And I'm just going to have to bear and grin it and do it anyway. Well,
Yeah.
that isn't living. And I want
Mm-mm.
people to set themselves up for their whole life
Yeah.
of living better and feeling better and we want to like eliminate everything and then it's like why am I allergic to this thing all of a sudden well because you
Right.
took it out of your diet.
Yes. Yes. And another thing is that um a lot of us wait for that scare moment, like
Yep.
my entire family from both sets of parents are diabetes,
Mm.
everywhere, of high blood pressure, high cholesterol. And I'm Mexican, so our diet, we call it the vitamin T: tortilla, tamales, tacos, everything.
I'm in I love them. I love it, love it, love
So
it.
that's what we live for, the vitamin T. And
Yeah.
so, but it also it's very dangerous for people like me, and I got my first scare last year with my physical, and they told me that my I was like 1 point away from becoming pre-diabetic. And you would think
Mm,
like, oh well, it's
mm.
pre it's not yet. But I was like, oh my goodness, I've seen an experience in my own family, the repercussions of diabetes, and it's been horrible. It's been
Yeah.
horrible. So I'm like, I need to do something to start taking care of myself. And actually, because of you, I drink lots and lots of water, because that talk that you gave us in your group one time, it was like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? I'm not drinking enough water.
Yeah.
And just little things like that, it's like we are not even thinking. And just to put it together with what Stephanie said last week,
Yeah.
it's everything in the awareness. So you mentioned that too. How can we become aware
Right.
of our health? Like,
Right.
what can we do?
So I think it is just really noticing, like, how do I feel when I eat this thing? How do I feel? So, waking up in the morning and the water thing is huge. So the water is a great place to start. Get up in the morning and drink a glass of water. You're getting your body moving. And being 1 point away from diabetes is a scare. And in America, our standards for blood sugar is different than the UK. The UK, it's a lower number for prediabetes than it is in the United States. So that's always interesting. But I think it is the awareness, those little tiny things. So it's, what am I
Yeah.
feeding myself? What am I saying to myself? Am I saying, well, you're stupid. You should do this anyway. You know better. You know what to do. That's not encouraging and that's not
Mhm.
motivating at all.
Yes,
And I've
absolutely.
said this to myself, so I
Right, right. And it can also go the other way because you'd be like, oh, I just ate 5 Oreos, one more. You
yeah,
know, the things that you tell yourself and the permission is like, oh, I deserve this.
right.
And it's actually wrong for you,
Yeah,
right?
I think the thing was for me it was, "Oh, I worked out 3 times this week. I get to have a cheat day."
Right, right. And then on that cheat day, you eat everything that you didn't
Yeah.
get to eat during the whole
So
week.
so
So,
if you're just like, "Oh my gosh, for me, I love Mexican food. I mean,
mhm,
and so what is it? If I'm really craving it, I'm just gonna eat it and I'm gonna
mhm.
enjoy it and then I'm gonna move. Oh no. Did I lose you? Oh no. Okay.
Yeah. No, no, I'm here.
I thought my computer went down. I'm like, no, no, bad, bad.
No, we still live.
um, so anyway, I think it really is it's the small things that we discount that make a huge difference and
Mm,
how we are doing things. And we make it really complicated because we're told all these things and it can be very overwhelming. So one of the things I would say is on that day you wake up and you feel really good and you're like, you put your clothes on, and you're like, I swear I lost a pound or something. I feel so much better. That's the perfect day to start doing something right that minute. Because when
mm,
you're feeling good, you
yeah.
have that, it gives you that little bit of momentum to keep going.
Yeah, yeah. That's a good tip right there. And you know, sometimes I feel like I work from home. So most of the time I wear pajamas all day. But then, we have an event or something, and then I have to get
Put clothes
ready.
on.
And this,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Look semi pretty, and I feel good, and I feel that energy, and I feel like, oh, I can do all things, you know.
Yeah.
And so that's a great thing to keep in mind. Again, like the renewal of our mind, right? Like
Right.
just
It's like, that
getting.
feels good. And then the other thing is know that you are not every day going to feel like doing whatever it is. If your
Yeah.
goal is to walk every day or do 20 minutes of moving, you're not going to feel like it every day.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so move before your mind starts talking because your
Hmm.
mind's going to go, oh, no, just stay in bed. Just,
Yeah.
you can do that tomorrow. You can do that later.
Yeah.
But if you move before your brain has a chance to start keeping you safe, you're
Hmm.
better off.
Yes. So that's another thing that I learned. I love the comment of Marcus there. I'm a alcoholic myself, so I can totally relate to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I learned about the chemical balance of our brain, the when we are getting intoxicated from the cortisol, and how just going for a walk can bring that down. It helps you in every aspect, because
Yeah.
you're more relaxed, you're more aware, you're more concentrating, and you're in a better
Oh,
mood,
yeah.
right?
Oh, exactly. It's like anything. It can be even doing some deep breathing exercises can calm you down. Uh,
Hmm.
but it is that move. But sugar is one of those things that's tricky. And I
Hmm.
think for women, typically it is, I'm going to say we're not getting enough protein and we're not
Yeah.
eating enough fat. And if we can eat more fat, that healthy fat, kind of dissipates the sugar cravings. It's really interesting when you get enough of the good nutrients in your body, the sugar cravings are less and less and less. So
Hmm.
it is getting that sleep. It is getting enough of those things in your body to go, oh, well, maybe I don't, maybe just a little piece is good.
Right. Yes. And it's also, I think you mentioned the sleeping.
Oh,
Isn't
sleep.
that,
Huge, huge.
what can you tell us about sleeping?
You want your sleep because if you're not sleeping, and some people here know about this, but but sleeping is, it's your brain's chance to clean out, flush out all the stuff. It's your chance to work out all the day's problems. It's your recovery. And if you're not doing it, you're not able to do all the fun things you want to do. And if you're constantly lacking in sleep, you're driving a car, you're like a drunk driver on the road.
Yes. Yes. And I mean, we had this thing also last week of my husband and I, we just couldn't get enough sleep. And even though it was kind of hard, like, okay, he's getting up like in the middle of the night and waking me up, and then it doesn't work, and he's like, hey honey, you know what, why don't you sleep in the guest room, for a few nights so we can record. And that worked. I'm
Yeah,
back in my bed. But sometimes you got to do what you got to do to really get that sleep, because yes, I felt like a zombie for days, and it's still, I'm feel like I'm trying to recuperate. But we also don't put enough attention to sleeping.
we
And
don't.
just like Ellie, I love sleep. Like, give me a
Me
pillow
too. Me
and
too. Me too.
I just go to sleep anywhere. And and I'm in Carline, and my daughter, she's a teenager. She's like, Mom, please don't fall asleep in the car line. That's gonna be embarrassing. And I'm like, I'm trying,
And
but
there are
yeah.
times like last week, there were many people, and it had to do with the moon. It had to do with some planetary things. A lot of people were extra sleepy, but
Hmm.
it's setting yourself up and getting up. Like, even if you can't go to bed at the same time, you want to wake up at basically the same time every day and start training your body, because once you do that, it'll help. And then
Hmm.
moving your body is going to help you to fall asleep that much faster as well.
So everything is kind of like a ripple effect, right?
Yeah,
Like
everything touches everything.
Yeah, I love it. Um, let's see. Ellie says, and sometimes life gets in the way, and a whole month will go by before you get back to your progress
It's
to the
true.
goal. We were just talking about that
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's true. And I think I want people to know that getting healthy, improving your health is not a linear thing. You're going to have setbacks. I recently, I was going to talk about this at another time too, is I recently had a time where, just because of all the things that were going on in my life, my self care went backwards and I didn't
Mm.
get to do everything I normally do. And I didn't go right back to, I was like, oh, okay, I need to be able to add these things back in, but I do them slowly, because if I have to go back to where I was, I can't. I
Mhm.
have to do it, add it back in slowly. But we're all going to have times. It doesn't mean you're finished. It doesn't mean you failed. It just means you're human. And we're
Mm.
going to fall off good habits as well as hopefully drop off some bad ones.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm laughing at this,
Oh,
you know.
yeah. I know. I'm so excited about that. Like, him sleeping is huge because
Yes,
everyone who knows Marcus knows that he's up at all hours, which he's up really
I
late right now.
know. Yes, it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, Marcus. I mean, like,
I'd be sound asleep.
yes, yes. I mean, like, so kudos to you, my friend. I don't want to be the reason of your unhealth, unhealthy habits, but I appreciate so much that you're here. And I think you're right. Separate bedrooms can
Yeah.
be a marriage saver. Yes, it can also help you with your health. Like give me some space.
Right, because maybe your partner snores and you're a
That's
light
true.
sleeper,
Yes. Yeah.
that
Yeah.
can be, there's so
Yes.
many things, but it really
Yes.
is that what are we doing to wind ourselves down
Mm,
to get ready for bed, to prepare for the rest?
right. That is true too. Like the phone, right?
Yeah,
Oh my goodness, that's a battle
it
to
is a
have the
battle.
phone and to have the phone because I'm like, I'm just gonna leave it in the kitchen. And then I'm like, what if there's an emergency? How am I gonna run to the kitchen and get the phone, right? Like all these things. But I try my best not to touch the phone right before I go to sleep.
Yeah. It's,
But
do some breathing, do some reading out of a
mhm,
real book, take a bath, wash your face, do something
yeah.
spa like for yourself, restful. And then
Yeah.
set yourself up and go, oh my gosh, I'm going to have the best dreams ever.
Yes, I have a friend that he just told me that his sleep doctor told him to read a book before so he could fall asleep. And he's like, so now I just read really boring books so I can fall asleep. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Well, I started doing audiobooks and I listened to Green Lights from Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, yeah,
Oh my gosh, but he has this amazing voice. I can't fall
exactly.
asleep. So I'm like, you're out of my list of audiobooks before bedtime because that's not working.
Because you're like 15 more minutes.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And Ellie says, I wake up in the morning and go lay on the couch for a nap. That's a good strategy, Ellie. I love it. So, Cheryl, what are you gave us a lot of tips, but are there any like three practical tips that people can start just applying today? Like,
Yeah.
okay, what can I get to set my mind to start a healthy life or looking into what should I go to a doctor? Do I just start running? What should I do? Buy vitamins? What can I do?
I say start off small, start off really small, incremental steps. And none of us really like that because we want huge jumps. We want fast change. We want to be, if we're trying to lose weight, we want the weight gone in no time. But the real truth of it is every little tiny little step you make. And this is and we were talking Anna and I were talking about this earlier. Every step. It doesn't matter if it's your health or your business or whatever it is. We know these tiny little things we do every day are going to add up. So what are some of the things you can do to start? So one of the things that I like to talk about is think about yourself later in life. And it's not so far away for me as it used to be, but it's like balance. If you don't have balance, you're more likely to fall when you're older. And if you fall and you're in the hospital, you have a high chance of dying.
Hmm.
So when you're brushing your teeth, can you stand on one foot while you're brushing your teeth? While you're cooking something or waiting for it to be done, can you do some calf raises? What are the little things? So, what I challenge you to do is if you have 5 minutes, what can you get done in 5 minutes? Don't
Oh,
think about doing things in the long term. You've got little pockets of 5 minutes or 20 minutes. And it's amazing if you set that timer what you can get done.
That is great to start with. And even like a lot of us spend a lot of time in the computer and just
Yeah.
sitting down. It's just getting up for a minute, right?
Getting up, sitting down, getting up, sitting down. That is an exercise.
Mm-hmm.
Getting
Yeah.
up off the floor, standing,
Yes.
but I encourage everyone to do a little bit of balancing, working on your balance. And maybe it is you get up from your desk and you lift one leg up and you hold it up and lift from the belly and then do the other leg, and you've got a couple of minutes and you're
Mhm, mhm,
started. Don't punish yourself, and don't eat foods you don't like.
mhm. Yes. That's
Not gonna
that's a
work.
big one. Yes, that's a big one. Yes, my husband doesn't eat any vegetables, and
Oh,
that
I have
wouldn't
a
work
trick
for
for
him.
that. I have a
Really?
trick. So I had a client that her kids didn't like vegetables, her husband didn't like vegetables. So I said, you got to sneak them in. So she'd make a meatloaf and she'd put all the vegetables in the meatloaf, or,
Wow. Mhm,
so you have to sneak it in
mhm.
where you can.
Be
Um,
creative.
yeah, make a
Mhm,
smoothie that tastes, put some
mhm.
blueberries in there to sweeten it up, and, add those veggies in there. They'll never know.
Yes. Right, just sneak them in
Sneak
there.
them in. And I think it's true for us as well, because we think, oh, we should be doing all these things. Like you were talking about Mexican food. I love Mexican food. But
Mhm,
one of the things that is good is if you're going to have something like that, start with veggies. Like,
mhm.
where can I have some delicious veggies and then have that? And your
Work your
body's
way up.
your body's going to
Mhm,
actually digest it better and deal with the
mhm.
sugars better if you can
Mm.
start it off with a little bit of veggie.
Yes, yes. Oh, that's a great tip. Janet, it's showing up here. Hi, Janet.
Hello.
Thank you so much for joining us. Um, we're almost wrapping up, but this was so great. I mean, like I said, I think it was great to have you here because I want our friends to know the importance of how and and how vital it is to have our mind right,
Yes,
our body right, and our spirit too. Because I
exactly.
have found that, through meditation, through prayer, and, reading your Bible, and I even use a lot of scripture to motivate me, the one that talks about the renewal of your mind. And then there is sometimes like, I want one more cookie. And then I think about like the renewal of my mind. My body is the temple of my soul. In incorporating scripture with my well-being, I think has helped me
Yeah, I think you're
as well.
you're feeding your soul. And
Yeah.
that's what it's like when we're feeding our mind and we notice our mind is saying awful things to us, because sometimes we
Right.
can be very hard on ourselves or
Hmm.
expect more of ourselves than we should.
Yes.
We need to be kinder. And when we hear ourselves saying these awful things, would I say that to my child? Would I say that to my friend? No.
That's true.
So don't
True.
say it to yourself.
Yes, yes, sometimes we're really mean to ourselves. So, yes, we need to keep that in mind. And just I hope, friends, that you can put together what we learned last week with what we learned this week, and come back for the next one, because I have another guest. But Cheryl, you have given us a lot of tips and a lot of good things to think about, and start right now. Like after we finish this, we can actually start, right?
Yeah,
So
simple
yes,
things, just
yeah.
tiny little spots. Because I can even go to when I first started doing yoga, and I was like, oh, I'm not as bendy. I can't go that far. But in no
Hmm.
time, I could go a little further.
Yeah.
So it's the
Yeah.
same thing with your health. Just little tiny things are
Yes.
going to add up.
Yes, and friends, I want you, here is Cheryl's website. It's gonna be on the notes of or the YouTube channel. I'm going to put it in the comments as well of the Facebook page where they can reach you there, right? Can
Yep.
you tell us a little bit about your services?
Sure. One of the things that I want to encourage people is I offer a free discovery call. This is not a sales call. This is a chance for you to see if we're a match, if there's something I can help you with. Because really, I want to connect with you and get you started. And I also have a free PDF, 7 easy ways to kickstart your weight loss after 40. That's on my website as well. But I encourage you to book a call with me and let's have a chat and see what I can do to help you.
Absolutely. And where am I? I'm right here. Oh, I went away. But I really appreciate you being here today. But before we leave, I have a, a few rapid fire questions just for
Okay,
fun. Are you up for that?
let's do it.
Okay. All right. Okay. So the first one, who has inspired you to try something new?
Oh my gosh.
Let's think about it.
That's a hard one because there are family and friends and so many people that have inspired me. But today I will pick my grandmother. Um
Okay. Good.
she really she came to the country not speaking the language, and did many wonderful things, and she really inspired me to take the chances.
Awesome. Where did she came from?
She was German and she came from
Mm.
Russia. So
Oh
there was a
wow.
group of Germans that lived in Russia, and her sisters saved the money to have her put on a boat, and she traveled on a boat long ways to come to the United States. Um,
Wow.
yeah,
Wow.
she impressive.
Mm-hmm. I bet. I bet. Okay, the next one. What is the coolest gift that you've ever gotten?
It's right here. So, we're speaking of my grandmother, and several years ago, my mother had it's a Schwarzkopf crystal necklace. And it was one of the first things that my grandmother ever purchased for herself after she was cleaning houses and learning English by reading the Bible, which is really interesting. Um, but she had it restrung for me and gave it to me with a note telling me, and it's well over 100 years old.
Wow. And it's
So
beautiful.
it's
That's
so special that it was hers and it was something that she earned and she paid for. And, you know,
how special. That is so pretty. And that's one of the first things I noticed when we got on the screen. I'm like, oh, her necklace is so pretty. Uh, that's awesome. Okay, what has been the worst gift you ever gotten? You don't have to tell us who gave it to you.
I can't even think of a worse gift. I
I I think I did this.
wait,
Mhm.
wait,
Yeah,
wait.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
you
Go,
might
go,
think
go.
this is terrible. I got a toilet.
What? That's
Yeah, I got a toilet for Christmas one year.
really. Oh my goodness.
There's a long story with that, but
I bet. But that's a unusual gift. Yes. Like it's somebody told me that they got a can of tuna. I'm like, what? I mean, like, who does that? But anywho, okay. What is something that you will never eat? Like you, like, no, thank you. I pass.
mm, gosh, I don't like tomatoes,
No, you didn't.
but raw tomatoes, well, it's a fruit. Raw tomatoes, no, but cooked, yes. Um,
Okay.
I'm trying to think of. There's not really too many things I won't eat.
and, and what is your favorite thing?
Tacos.
Really?
I
Oh my
love.
gosh.
So my first paying job was at a Mexican restaurant. And I got I got and I
Y-
still love it.
Yeah, you got to develop the love for tacos.
Oh my
Got
gosh.
it.
Yes.
Yes. I have never met anyone that does not like tacos, right? Like,
Yeah. How can
who
you
wouldn't?
not?
Yes,
They're the
I
best.
mean, seriously. But anyways, well, I hope that one day you can come to Texas
Oh,
and I
yes,
can
because
bake you
the Mexican food is
some
different
really
there.
good Texas.
Yeah,
Oh, yes.
yeah, yes.
Where are you?
Idaho.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I'm
Yes,
sorry to say,
yes,
but
yes. Oh,
yeah.
I know, believe me.
So I hope you can come to Texas and we'll take you for the best tacos ever
I'm
right
in, I'm
here.
in, let's
Yes.
go.
Yeah. Well, friends, thank you so much, Cheryl. Thank you so, so much for
Thank
being
you.
here. And Ellie wants tacos now. Maybe in my next stream, I'm gonna be cooking some tacos and
That
we'll
sounds fantastic.
right? Yeah. But Marcus, thank you so much for being here and staying up with us because I know that you're on the other side of the world and I appreciate you. And I was on your stream this afternoon too. I had to log off halfway, but I'm gonna come back and watch the replay. And by the way, friends, if you're watching the replay, please let me know with the hashtag replay. And if you have any questions for Cheryl or for me, just leave them in the comments. I'll pass them on. And again, you can visit her website. I'm going to put it one more time here. And, just connect with her. She is a wonderful, wonderful coach. Again, like I said, I've learned a few tips that I am starting to incorporate in my life and that being a good change for me and for my health. So thank you so much, friend. I will see y'all soon. Don't forget to love Jesus, obey Jesus, and tell everyone about him. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye, friends. I forgot my banner.